Romania's first AI assistant for hospitals called Zenios.com. Welcome, and please invite your speakers and presenter.
It works?
Yeah.
Hello everyone. Are you still up for an insightful discussion? I hope so, because in the next 30 minutes, not 2 hours, we'll have some great speakers in the stage. In the upcoming chat, we'll discuss about how businesses are dealing with implementation of so-called AI, which is, I think it's a wrong term. I'd rather use the augmented intelligence, but regardless the term we use, I think AI is here and we need to get use of it. Without further ado, let me introduce to you our first panelist, IONUș, Partner and Chief Growth Officer at WeAsWeb, with over 18 years of experience in the software solution industry and more than 8 years in leadership roles. In 2023, IONUș decided to start a new role in the entrepreneurship world. Now he serves as Partner Chief Growth Officer in WeAsWeb, one of the country's largest IT companies with 100% Romanian ownership. Our next guest, AWDAY KORDE, founder and CTO of Optimized AI. With a decade of experience, he had played a pivotal role in leading and developing AI solutions, contributing to the strategic evolution of technology across various industries in the Netherlands. Upon returning to Romania, he expanded his company to help local businesses achieve more with their data by building data platforms, data analytics, and data science solutions. So, our next panelist, Jeremy de France, founder of Promoscore. Jeremy is an entrepreneur with 20 years of experience, having served as a founder, investor, mentor, senior developer, and architect for a variety of apps and software as a service solutions across multiple industries, including retail, e-commerce, human resources. Okay, to begin with, I would like to ask you to provide a brief presentation of your services or products that your companies will offer. So, yeah, you can start.
See if this works? Yeah, it works. Cool. So, my name is AWDAY KORDE. Thank you first and foremost for the invitation and for the participation here. The company is called Optimized AI. Essentially, what we do is we're a data consultancy company. We help companies develop their data infrastructure, but also data solutions. Now, of course, that includes reporting, monitoring, but very importantly, our focus has been over the last 5 to 10 years on data science, which we now know as AI or Gen AI in any shape or form. So that essentially means identifying these opportunities, because sometimes this is not so clear for the business or for tech teams, but also prototyping, validating, and putting in production. So the whole chain, that's what we do.
Hi everyone, good evening. My name is IONUș GHERLE. I'm a partner and chief growth officer in WeAsWeb. We are a pretty young company, almost 5 years ago. We started as a product company, but we saw an opportunity after the pandemic and we switched to services. So now we are doing software services. We are around 500 plus people based in 3 countries, Romania, Albania and Moldova. Mainly we are doing outsourcing services, but starting with last year, we also focused on several, let's say, niche and value-added services like AI, cybersecurity, application management services, or product strategy and development.
Thank you. Johnny?
Hello again. So now I'm representing Promoscore, which is a shopping assistant that I'm developing, and we are using AI to be able to digest, analyze, and match at scale all the promotion of the retail in order for people to save money when they do their groceries.
Okay, thank you. Like any new solution or technology in the market, the adoption at the beginning is bumpy. From your experience, what are the most common challenges businesses face when implementing AI solution, and how do you help them overcome these challenges?
You go first? So for me, it was quite fun to really understand how that curve is. Right? I come from a technology background, so I'm a software engineer, and then went into this whole data science AI space. Obviously, there's a lot of exploration. There's a lot of testing. I spent a good chunk of these 10 years going from department to department, pitching ideas. Right? So there's this opportunity in AI. There's this opportunity in data science. You can optimize this aspect of the supply chain. You can gain more value by using this data or that information. So it's really symptomatic, right? You kind of go and feel what they want and need, and then you kind of come up with a list, and you try to quantify that business value, right? Once you give a number to that opportunity or project or initiative, that's when it becomes a bit easier to take that initiative and push it higher up, right? That's from a data scientist standpoint, what I was doing as a consultant back then. But of course, it's not that easy sometimes, right? It has to be from a bottom-up standpoint, but also from a top-down, right? Because if strategically there's no data priority or data strategy at all, it's going to be hard motivating these initiatives over time. So I would say cultural, definitely, like understanding the value of data is a big pillar into that, into overcoming this.
Okay, one short question. What's the percentage of your client's portfolio based in Romania?
The percentage of, well, actually we've activated mostly in the Netherlands. In the past 6 months we've arrived to Romania. I think got a number of initiatives, but a small chunk, I would say around 10%.
Okay, AWDAY?
Okay, yeah. I think that now everyone speaks about AI, and I recently read a study made by MIT, and 94% of the respondents think that AI will be very impactful in the next 5 years, but 70% of them don't think now that AI has an impact at this moment, and moreover 85% of the projects that were tested with AI don't go in production. So here can be multiple, let's say multiple concerns, multiple problems that we saw, and I start with, with several, like data. Okay, every company stay on mountains of data, but this data, and I think that our colleague here can confirm, most of them are not, let's say, good data. Most of them are rubbish data. This data need to be, understandable, need to be organized in order to use them very well. On the other hand, like I said previously, everyone talks about AI, but we do not have, we do not invest, and this is why we are trying to do with our customers, in understanding the business cases, in understanding the processes, and where do you want as a customer to use AI and to implement an AI solution or model and so on. So I think that what we are doing, we are spending very much time with our customers in understanding their business case. We are doing workshops to understand their need. We are doing workshops and meetings with all the layers of the processes that, or the departments that are involved in that process. There is needed to be transparent communication about what we are going to do, how AI will affect that process, what changes, and here come the change management, situation, because AI will change things, and everyone has to be prepared in that changes in that department or in that organization. So it's more complicated than getting a model, putting it there, and let's test it. And
okay. And so if a company has no data, it will be difficult to implement such a system. Yeah.
for sure, but I don't think that we stay on data. I think that the issue is how this data is organized and how we separate good data by rubbish data.
Okay, thank you, Ionuț.
Can I add something on top of that? So I fully agree. A lot of companies have a ton of data and they're so happy about it, but it's sometimes an organizational issue, right? They don't have the right people to make use of that data. So even from a basic standpoint, right, like reporting or normal descriptive analysis, it's missing, right? A lot of companies want to do that leap from just having the data to AI, and that's very difficult because you can't just implement it without understanding the consequences that happen afterwards.
So the first step to see if implementing AI is doable is to look at how data are organized and what system do the company.
Indeed. Bringing, so usually they have established, some companies have established systems, ERPs, VMSs, all that whole jazz, but of course they need to bring it to one place, understand it completely, be able to build performance KPIs, be able to understand how each department performs, and then identify these opportunities, these low-hanging fruits that can save them with advanced analytics.
Thank you.
Yes, so there are different interesting points that I want to mention. So your question was about the challenges. So there is one thing, first for me, it's about labeling what is AI, because being a tech person also, I used to say, before we had servers and then they became cloud. And now before we had algorithm and now it's called AI, but this is not AI. So AI means really something, and so everybody wants to jump into AI, but sometimes it's just not AI. And we were talking about data, so as for me, with the company that I'm a partner in, this product, PromoScore, is a result of a radical change by training a model on our data. So we had a lot of data about prices and promotion and the way we can extract them automatically. And 6 years ago, we implemented that inside of our company, and this resulted into dividing by 5 the time that our teams would spend to analyze, digitalize, to extract the data and match it with our database. And we had the data. We had millions of images, and we could train this. So as one of my colleagues said, yes, when you want to have an AI project done inside of your company and you have data, you can start with it. But now with also some other tools that we were talking about before, you can use AI without the data, without that much data. And now it's getting much further, and so there are less challenges to start implementing AI that can affect positively your business and your client businesses.
Okay, so the quality of the output is directly proportional to the quality of input. Yeah.
Yes, if you want to train your own models and improve something, a vertical in your business that is really unique to your activity, yes, of course.
Okay. One more question for all of you. I'm eager to hear about your first-hand experience. So with that in mind, can you share some success stories or case studies where your AI solutions have significantly impacted the client's business operations?
I can go first. I think the theme for today is e-commerce and retail. I have a couple of examples in other industries as well, but for the sake of conversation. What we do in e-commerce and retail essentially is try to understand what our customers do and what their behavior is. A very simple example is segmenting information of the user, right? Trying to understand which product fits best for which categories of people. If we take a step further, we've gotten to a point where, within the e-commerce space where we understand how many seconds does a person stay on a product, on a category, on a lister, understand how many clicks they've done in that particular situation, but also take it even further and really try to link this information with their purchase history and come up with a profile, right? For like a concrete example we built in this area is being able to understand what are the customers that go onto your website from the moment they enter to the moment they leave, and understand their profile, but also understand what is their level their percentage of conversion, the probability that this person is going to convert, and given a threshold, so say, you know, that person is 75% willing to convert, send them a discount, or contact them, or win them back somehow, right? Of course, this was applied in an e-commerce space, online, but this was also applied offline, right? Where you understand that that person contacted you, interacted with you in a particular way via phone call, email, CRM, right? All that information is attached in there. Understand which customers, and understand their preference, understand their favorite product, and maybe that little 5 or 10% push can make a whole difference for them, right? And so these solutions can save up to 20, 30% improvement on certain leads that are completely lost, right? So that really helps this area of nurturing. Another example is on the acquisition space. So essentially, within the retail space, there's always a moving target of how much should I buy. So what's the volume I should buy for a particular product such that it wouldn't stay too long on the stock, but it wouldn't sell out too quickly either. So I want to hit that sweet spot. Essentially, what we built in that space is a model that uses online data, marketing information, but also pricing information to understand what's the sweet spot of how much each product should they buy for the next season or the next year, such that it would sell out in 30 days or 45 days and they wouldn't stay with it on the stock for too long. That's the examples.
Okay. Thank you.
I can give you a very simple example. It was we were involved in a startup, so we had a startup to make a product based on AI. It was designated to the dropshippers, so we put it in an AI model and developed on that in order to help all kind of dropshippers to test page products. So what they've done in 2-3 days, now we are doing in 15 seconds. Looking in several datas, integrated with Shopify, Alibaba, Amazon, and so on. So now that startup that we are involved in, they have around 4,000 customers per day, and all these customers, they are dropshippers, and they are using this product in order to test all kind of product pages in order to see what goes okay, what doesn't go. And it was a very, I don't know, at the beginning when they come to us, and we don't want to work, what's this? But it was a very simple idea. They started last year in June, and now they are around 8,000 euro per month monthly revenue. So it's exponential growth. Coming back to retail, now we are working with a big retailer from UK in the just do-it-yourself industry, and we are working on integrating an AI model on their e-commerce. If I want to make a kitchen, for example, or my daughter's room, I can put an image from our designer, or even written, we tested, even painted by ourselves with the hand and the pencil. And based on several inputs that I gave, maybe budget, materials, and so on, they give me anything that I want to do that kitchen or kids' room at home by me. I don't know, even the material, if it's MDF or PAL, colors, budget that I have for the entire project, I don't know how to say, shurubul, everything. Yeah, so all the list that I need. I only have to, I don't know, put it in the chart and go to take it from the store.
Cool. Enjoy.
Yes, so as I was saying, we applied AI with our data, and this transformed completely the company. So before I became a partner and developed, reshaped this business, it could take a week to digitalize a big quantity of data. For example, for Kaufland, who makes a lot of promotion, it could take a week, and after the transformation, it was taking a day to integrate all the promotion, national promotion, digitalize that, and put that into a system. So this radically changed the way the company was working, and then we had to make a choice, like, do we fire 80% of the people, or do we do something else? And we choose to keep the people because we were working with them for a while, and we developed new services. So when you embark into an AI project, you don't know where it's going to lead you. So because you will be more efficient, and then you have to make decisions, and it connects to management decision. What do you do? And thanks to that, we developed other services and other quality of data, and that we became the best on the market for this specific thing of market analysis regarding prices, up to a point where we said, now, why don't we create a B2C product? Because we have the ability to collect at scale all this data, and it will be super useful for consumers. So now, let's launch a product for consumers. So from this very beginning of the journey, when we said, let's try 6 years ago, computer vision, it was, what is generative AI now? No. The model of computer vision were working pretty well, and you could make use of it to improve some processes. Now, after a few years, we became able to create a B2C product and transform a bit the company and to have eventually new possibilities and new markets for the future.
From what I understand from your solutions is that you are working on reducing the time and to optimize the workflows. Okay, I would like to tackle another important topic, which is the misconception about AI implementation and business. What is your opinion on this topic, AWDAY?
Misconception in terms of how easy it is?
Yeah, if the companies don't understand fully what is AI.
Like everything is AI, but not really. Like maybe it's just a good algorithm.
I think that's a good thing and a bad thing. A couple of years back, they didn't know about AI any shape or form. When you say data science, everybody would be like, what is that? So I think, ChatGPT and tools like that made it easier for businesses to make AI a bit more tangible. But of course, it comes at a curse, right? So now we can do prototypes really quick, faster than ever before. But of course, a prototype is not something you can use for your customers or in production, right? The journey from a prototype to production is quite heavy, depending on the complexity of the solution. But I think a lot of things people should take into account is that you want that tool to be integrated within your process. So there's a little bit of change management usually involved if it's an existing process. If it's a new process, there's some wiggle room to do there. There's of course technological challenges, such as being able to make sure that you have the right infrastructure for it. From a data platform, it might be a very heavy model or it might be a light model, depending on how lucky you are. I'm not even touching upon how do you train a model, what environment is right for that, how do you make sure that whole thing is done in a safe manner, and by safe I mean, how can I make sure that the data scientist is currently developing a model for my business that will benefit me long term? Obviously that's a difficult question to ask, because there's a lot of different tests you can do early stage to understand how good it is, and it's never perfect models. Of course, there's different degrees of accuracy, but it's also that risk that the business has to accept, right? And let's say we get over that and we put it into production, the journey is not even done yet, because right, once you have the model, there's a whole system around integrating this to work efficiently at scale and all that. But after the model's in production, well, that's when the fun begins, because you can't just put it there and just hope for the best that it works all the time. There's always new data coming in. There's always some threats to the model. So we spoke in a couple of sessions before that was talking about how can we make sure it's not biased, right? Guardrails, right? So making sure that there's the right predictions every single time, making sure if it's not a highly likelihood of probability, we should not accept those predictions. How can we monitor for these to make sure that the model doesn't degrade in performance over time? It's the whole thing about it.
Thank you.
Maybe very complex response. Maybe only some things to add. I fully agree with my colleague. I would also say that many of us overestimate the power of AI. So now we are thinking that AI will do everything. So here we have to be a little bit more maybe conservative and to analyze very good the process where we put this. And what we saw that many companies see AI like a single project, and this is, I don't know, it's like a strategy. You need to have a strategy on AI. Okay, you can start small, and it's very good to start small, to start with a project, to start with an MVP. After that, if the use case is okay and the figures are okay, and it's a good impact in your business, you have to go to starting to have a project and go to the production. And like my colleague said, it's very important not to be very careful to maintenance, to the threats, to the integrations, because when AI looked like I don't know, somewhere in a corner of a mod of a department or of a process, it's not useful. And beside that, I would add also this communication in the company. So transparent communication, the effects what could AI do, or that project done with AI, together with the change management, because everything will change after having a successful project.
Thank you. Jeremy?
So misconception about
implementing AI.
Exactly. So again, insisting on the fact that not everything is AI. I mean, I was thinking when you were telling about prediction of stock to optimize things. 15 years ago, I was developing such a software for one of the leader of the batteries in Europe, for small batteries, to predict the stock and things like that. It was, we didn't need AI, we just had a question and we could do it without AI. So be careful to name AI, to know what is behind AI. What other misconception about AI? AI will not solve it all. So, like on my specific example for computer vision, I mean, if you have data project with computer vision, it's really interesting because it's visual and you optimize a lot of things, but you're never gonna do 100%. So you need to understand that you will optimize up to a certain point, and this is not the solution that will solve it all. And you need to implement other things, and don't try to reach the unreachable delta to a certain perfection. If you start optimizing, this is very good, and you will be already better than the competition. And from this point, you can look for another project and continue like this.
Okay, thank you. The last question from me, the million question actually. What advice would you give to businesses that are considering incorporating AI in their operations for the first time?
Build your data infrastructure, build your data strategy. I think it all starts with that. It all starts with understanding how can you use the data that you currently have in your organization to make better decisions. And from that point onward, it's really understanding the opportunities that you have in your business that are based off of data. So building the data platform, the reporting capabilities, all of that. And if you stumble upon some optimization problem that could be solved by any data science or non-intelligent solution, let's put it that way, try it out, test it out. I think now we're at a stage where we can prototype faster than ever, which means we can validate the idea faster than ever. The faster you validate it, the more you can figure out which of these opportunities can give me high value on the short term. And I think this wasn't so much possible before, especially considering that there's so many AI plugins nowadays into existing SaaS software. I think that's great. That makes it a lot easier. But of course, you have to build internally all of these capabilities.
Thank you. What else?
I think that to be very short, just do it. So embrace AI. But what we recommend to our customers, because many of our customers come, okay, what can I do with AI? We are organizing all kinds of workshops where all departments are invited, and we are calling that workshops the dreaming session. and everyone comes, okay, I would like to do something like that. Okay, keep dreaming, and we put all these dreams, all these cases, and after that we stay with our experts in AI and data and business, because it's very related to business, and I think, in my opinion, many AI experts will come from the business, because they will need to understand the real need and how to integrate the AI. So I think that maybe we will come more from the business side from the technical side, from the development. And after that we stay and analyze each dream that all the department had, and start with 1, 2, maximum 3 MVPs, because like my colleague said, we are able to test it very fast, to make MVPs very fast with not a huge investment, and after that see if it's okay for the business case or not, and to go deeper or to switch to another idea.
Thank you.
So an advice for companies. So, you don't have to build the next billion-dollar company with AI to start working with AI. Maybe you don't have the right data. Maybe there is already a model out there. So don't try to reinvent the wheel or imagine a mountain to climb. You can start now. We had a nice panel just before. There are a lot of tools out there to start small, start understanding, start evangelizing your teams. For example, now also in our company, we are forcing people to use ChatGPT. It's part of the package. And I think this is a start for people to understand. Then, when it's about optimizing, creating a product inside your company, and then maybe if you think, you can wait a bit for the environment to be ready before building this. You don't have to you don't have to revolutionize all your company with AI today. You can start with baby steps. There are a lot and more tools that are happening now. And just by optimizing your HR, your communication, all your processes, maybe you'll save some time. And with this time, you can start thinking about building the next big thing. And hiring data scientists and consulting companies and working on something much bigger. But you can start slow, and once you're in, you don't know where it will lead you, and probably you will outcome the competition, and you can arrive anywhere you want.
Thank you. Thank you again for joining this panel and sharing your insightful thoughts. I think for sure the question is not if it's worth implementing AI, but rather when it will be implemented. If there are any questions from the room, one question.
In the back.
Sorry for the joking. Hi, I'm Nikki. So I do have a background in cultural anthropology and behavioral patterns, and in my field of work I do deal with a lot of behaviors that influence our society and the way we think and approach different areas of our existence. So my question, first of all, involves GDPR, because there is, as you said, a lot of data, most of it useless, but still collected. And I would like to address the elephant in the room by asking you, how do you deal with GDPR issues, and how do you train your clients, your customers, to be more effective in data collecting and also in respecting people's privacies in AI implementation?
Thank you.
I think I can answer first. So yeah, data privacy, I think it's one of the most important threat in AI, and it's very important for sure. And we know, we cases, suitcases in the United States and so on. Maybe with this regulation in Europe, I think that could be better, but I agree with you that it's very important. I think that when going through, going after MVP, most of the cases that we saw, companies deploy all kind of models that we can develop and personalize on their own infrastructure. So these data are protected, like now are protected in any other software solutions, when being encapsulated on their own infrastructures with all their rules. So it's very important, but it's not a critical, let's say, point in AI and in implementing AI.
Can I add something on top of that? So, very good point. Indeed, these data platforms or custom environments, they usually have these set of rules. Who has access to what? Ideally. Now, of course, there's a mandatory data privacy officer that helps in this regard, and involving them early onwards in the project allows you to steer on what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do with that data based on terms and conditions and cookies and all that. But they're depending on the use case, because, for example, in the banking industry, you're kind of obliged to go through a certain process, right? Through an assessment called data protection impact assessment, which forces you to really reason the choice of variables that you use for your model. Why, how, in what way. So there are certain industries that are better regulated than others when it comes to this.
Well, I have less things to say about that because I'm not managing private data with what we do. But regarding GDPR, for me it's a bit like AI. We tend to think everything is AI when it's automated. Not everything is related to GDPR when it comes to data of people. I had a discussion even with I'm a president of the block of the building, and people were arguing that it's not respecting their GDPR because we have an interphone that can call them. So not everything is GDPR. Then back to it. So I don't have that many examples, but I would be grateful to talk about behavior patterns, being also founder of a company, and we do analyze our behaviors, so we can catch up after the call.
Okay, cool. Thank you again for being part of this panel, and I think it worth to be in touch with you after the event, at the networking session. Thanks again.
Thank you.